Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared, and this is actually one that I was pretty excited about. Now, this is going to be up for pre-order. This is a prototype, but I believe it's a 1-in-1, so yours will come just like this. But this is a Trevor Burger knife, or design. Trevor Burger makes custom knives. I've done a couple reviews on some of his actual customs, which I've always been impressed with. I've always loved Trevor Burger's knives. He has some of, if not the best, custom front flippers you can buy. His custom front flippers have always been the easiest, best front flipping action knives I've ever tried. Now, this brings it into a production version from Urban EDC. So this is the Urban EDC LC. I think it's light compact. There's going to be 3 different options, and you can pre-order it right now. Everything will be linked down in the description for you if you do want to pre-order one. There's a titanium version and then a couple different micarta versions. This one has the black micarta. I believe there's a brown micarta version. Yes, they're all titanium frame locks, but there's a solid titanium one. Then there's a brown micarta version with a black micarta inlay, and then a black titanium version with a black micarta inlay. Now, getting into this specific one so we can talk about the beauty of it and what's so great about this. This is a smaller knife. It's not a large knife at all. However, full 4-finger grip, easily, nice and comfortable in the hand. Neutral grips. Beautiful spear point blade. It's more of a drop point because I don't think the tip lines up perfectly with the center of the pivot. And I don't think this is a perfect taper from spine to edge down to the tip, but it is very similar. And I love this blade shape. Now, with this version, this specific version with the coatings, the only one I've tried, you can easily reverse flick it. Now, that is one thing that I've always loved about the Trevor Burgers is how easy, even with the satin finish ones, you could easily reverse flick it. Now, his have full hollow grinds, though. So since his have hollow grinds, it makes kind of a little bit of a ledge for you to reverse flick it. This has a perfect detent. Now, I heard Lefty, when he had his, because he's also checked this out. Shout out to Lefty EDC. He said his had a lighter detent. Now, he would never say that about. This one does not have a light detent at all. This has a solid, perfect detent. I can't express that enough. Like, I'm putting pressure, putting pressure, putting pressure, putting pressure, putting pressure, putting pressure, still putting pressure. Finally, yes, it has a solid detent. I can still do that, but I definitely got to put pressure. It will not just fly out. I can do the reach around, whatever you want to call it. I can reach over and snap it forward. They're all very easy to do, but it does have a solid detent. The jimping is exactly the way you want it on a front flipper, just like Trevor Burger does. Trevor Burger does perfect jimping, and he likes to wrap them around the front flippers. Exactly how he does it is exactly how they did it here. Plenty of room to get to the front flipper, and it snaps out really, really good. But I don't think I'd be able to reverse flick it as easily, at least, without this coating. Because it's an stonewashed, it is so easy to reverse flick. I can even do it left-handed, and I'm not lefty. So that goes to show how much grip you have on this coating. So that makes it to where it's multiple deployments. It's not just one deployment option. You have all the deployments you can do with the front flipper, plus you can reverse flick it. Now, taking a close look at the frame, we have a beautiful titanium milled pocket clip and a backspacer with a hidden lanyard back here, or a lanyard hole back there. Steel lock bar insert. Hidden hardware on the clip, so it's going to be from the inside. T8 hardware all the way around. Love to see that. Looks like titanium hardware. Lots of milling on the inside. Lots of milling. Heavy milling on the inside. And then you have the micarta inlay, which is also going to be weight relieving. Stop pin is back here. Regular size stop pin. Decent size stop pin for the blade weight. Ceramic caged bearings. Now, they're not going to say it, but Riyadh is who did this, for sure. I can kind of just feel that it's Riyadh, but, you know, it's not on any paperwork or anything. I'm sure they had to sign an agreement or something, but, I'm not saying that that's a fact. I'm just saying I can tell it's Riette. That's all I'm saying. Now, the grind is a full flat grind. It's not a hollow, but it still has a nice thin edge. So it's going to cut just fine, pretty in the middle, right? It's like, it's not super slicey, but it's also not bad. It's perfectly acceptable for the ergos you have on this. Would I like it to be thinner in a full hollow? Of course, but it's just fine. Nothing wrong with it. Now, the access to the lock bar, they cut out one side or chamfered the edge right here, so it gives you good access to the lock bar. There's no real cutout, but it kind of raises up a little bit right there, so it's very easy to disengage. Not fall shutty, but it's drop shutty. You can give it a couple shakes and it'll drop. It'll drop down to your thumb, but then you got to shake it. And I imagine that over time, the detent will break in and it will only get smoother and smoother and smoother. This is a fantastic knife. I've always loved Trevor Burger's knives, and this brings it to the market for such an affordable price because his customs are like, they start at like $600, something like that. And because he's like, when I first got to try his knives, I think he had just hit the market, so they were a little bit more affordable, but I believe they've slowly went up in price because he's gotten more and more popular. And I remember, and that's kind of the way it is. Some of these custom makers that are trained or taught or learn from some of the big dog custom makers, they learn how to do their craft so well. And they first hit the scene doing incredible stuff, and you're able to get their custom knives for a pretty good price. And whether they're self-taught or taught by, somebody who's, a well-known maker. Either way, the point is that over time, their knives get more and more desirable because more and more people get to try them and get to realize, like, man, this guy knows what he's doing. And Trevor Burger's one of them. But this brings it to a production level to where more people are going to be able to get one and for a very good price. So this is awesome. Yeah. Detent is so well tuned on this. No detent lash whatsoever. Now, the plunge grind, I do wish the plunge grind was different. That's my one complaint. So, when you sharpen this, you're going to create a smile. Now, it's because the plunge grind, you can actually see it. I'm going to zoom in really close and I'm going to point it out. If you look at the plunge grind, it tapers down to here, and then it basically ends right about right there. So, it's right there at the edge. So, I wish that you might get one or two sharpenings and before you hit it because it like ends right before the edge, but man, it'd be great if they just dropped it straight down or brought this part back to here and tapered it down to where it ended right here and left you all of this to sharpen, but they did not. So it is what it is. Is it that big of a deal? Not really, but it's something that I definitely look forward to when I spend decent money, especially as a knife sharpener. I always look at stuff like that. Now, freehanding it, I could probably avoid the plunge grind a little bit for the first couple sharpenings, but eventually it's going to be unavoidable. So that's why I say just keep it far away. Keep the plunge grind far away from the edge and where the plunge grind ends. But the fit finish, man, is so nice. This is seamless. Absolutely seamless. The only reason why I can tell there's an inlay in there is because I almost can't. Like if I close my eyes right now, I can't even tell. It's crazy. Even with my nail. Holy cow. I barely feel this little transition. That's with my nail. Man, that is crazy good finish work. Man, that is good. That's why you can tell it's Riette, because I don't know another company that can do it this good. getting them that tight, man. But man, the bronzed look, or maybe it's black look, whatever it is, with the pivot collar and the pivot and the hardware, it looks so good. So good. I love it. But there you guys go. Just a quick first impressions, letting you guys know about this deal and this pre-order going on. And yeah, I don't know. I might pre-order this. The problem is that it's not going to be filled until the end of the year, the beginning of next year. So if you do decide to get it, I do have an affiliate link down below, but it's not going to be for a while until you receive it. Now, it is a pretty, considering it's not a bad price. It's actually a pretty good price, but I know a lot of people do not want to wait 8 months or however long it's going to be, 6 months, 8 months for their knife. So it is what it is. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.